مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
Hello, my dear grade 12 students. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're gonna start Unit 2 with the first section, Reading 2A. And we start with Activity A with 2 questions to discuss in pairs or in groups. Number 1, do you know of any unusual hobbies and what are they? Number 2, why do you think people do them? If we talk about unusual hobbies, we can mention a few like cottage, soap carving, beetle fighting, or plane spotting. Yes, plane spotting. Have you heard about plane spotting? Observe and log the registration numbers of airplanes landing and taking off. Question number 2. Why do you think people do them? Well, I suppose that different people have different tastes, different preferences, and despite the fact that I find plane spotting weird, I guess that some people find this activity satisfying, because it proves that certain things in the world function perfectly. The word of unusual hobbies. Activity B. Read the announcements below and say what strikes you as unusual about each of the 4 hobbies. بتقرأ 4 إعلانات غريبة عن هوايات غريبة weird. بنرمز لها اختصارا ب CC, UG, GB and GI ومحتاجين نعرف منك what strikes you as unusual in each of the 4 announcements. الشيء اللي صدمك حسيت انه غريب وغير طبيعي بدون ما تفكر لو سمحت.
Module 2. Chillax. 2A. Reading.
The world of unusual hobbies. Welcome to Unusual Hobbies, UH, the website designed for those who find stamp collecting to be a cliché, shopping to be mindless, and pastimes such as knitting or soap making not stimulating enough. Check out the new announcements on our message board. The Cryptozoologist Club, CC.
About us. We prove that animal species previously thought to be non-existent actually do exist. Reaction. Scientists ridicule us because they believe that cryptozoology is not a real science. However, we have made many discoveries. Don't forget that the mountain gorilla, the colossal squid, and the okapi were once believed to be imaginary creatures. Equipment. Night vision goggles, maps and compasses. Proof is everything, so make sure you have a good camera. and the very latest in audio recording equipment. Where and when? Lectures every Thursday at Bidley Library from the 10th of September. We also organise annual trips all over the world to search for creatures such as the Yeti in the Himalayas or Bigfoot in the United States. This year, for example, we are travelling to Mongolia in search of the mysterious Almas. Our President's Statement.
If you have always loved monsters and chasing the great unknown, then cryptozoology is for you.
Max Sterlington.
Urban Gardeners, UG.
About us. More adventurous than your routine gardener, we transform concrete wastelands into garden landscapes. Reaction. Some people think we're trespassing on land that doesn't belong to us, but most people like the way we turn the ugliest city areas into beautiful green gardens, and we always get permission before we start. Equipment. Seeds, watering cans, spades, and other gardening tools. Where and when? The UG's group digs take place twice a month. Location sent by text message. Our President's Statement.
Every pavement crack is an opportunity to create an unexpected oasis.
Jemima Potter.
Gosford Beach Finders, GB.
About us. Few people know what detectorists are, but you've probably seen us with our metal detectors searching for treasure on the beaches. This year, at the Gosford Beach Hotel, we've set up the GB Lost Property Office to ensure that no one leaves the beach without their treasured belongings. Reaction. Curious holiday makers haven't got a clue what we're looking for, but they have nothing to fear. We're there to find any metal objects that have dropped into the sand so that they can be collected by their rightful owners. Equipment. A hat, the highest protection sunscreen you can find, and a metal detector with big headphones. Where and when? We meet at the beach on the busiest days throughout the tourist season. Our President's Statement.
The more you value something, the less you like losing it.
Timmy Haggison.
Geocachers International, GI.
About us. We aren't just the players of a global hide-and-seek game. We are the makers of a fascinating trend. Reaction. The game first began in 2000 to test GPS, Global Positioning System, a multi-million-pound navigational satellite system. Since then, it has grown more and more popular with hundreds of thousands of fans worldwide. Equipment. Upon membership to our site, you'll get a free user ID. Then find the nearest geocache, a waterproof container containing a logbook, to your home, jot down its location and use a GPS device to find it. What we do. Members receive details about the hundreds of thousands of geocaches hidden in over 200 countries by visiting our website. The easiest geocache searches are as near as one's local park, while the more challenging ones may require group work. Those who find their geocache take a small souvenir, but have to replace it with another for future visitors to find. They can also share their stories with other geocachers online. Our President's Statement.
The prizes are just plastic trinkets. It's the journey itself that's the greatest reward.
Ranger Moon from GI's Scream Team 3.
Back to our main question in Activity B. What strikes you as unusual about each of the 4 hobbies? The Cryptozoologist Club, CC, Urban Gardeners, UG, Gosford Beach Finders, GB, and finally Geocachers International GI. And here there are 4 brilliant students with us to answer this question. Let's start with Ahmed. What about CC, Ahmed? What strikes you? What strikes me as unusual is that they fly around the world to spot new species. Very good, Ahmed. Thank you very much. Nasser, what about UG, urban gardeners?
To me, it seems unusual that there are people unwilling to transform wastelands into garden landscapes.
A very good point, Nasser. Thank you very much. Abdelaziz, what about you?
I think it's unusual that instead of spending time on the beach relaxing, they spend time trying to find what others have lost.
Yes, I agree with you. It's a very unusual point. Yes, unusual hobby. Yes. Abdurrahman. Finally, we have GI. What do you think?
It seems unusual because this is a kind of treasure hunt, but there is no treasure.
Activity C. Read the announcements again and answer the questions. Choose A, B, C, or D. So, go back to the text, to the full texts, and try to find the correct answer for each of these questions. Question number 1. According to the text, what is true about the mountain gorilla? Go back to the text about the Cryptozoologist Club, CC, and read the highlighted part here. Don't forget that the mountain gorilla, the colossal squid, and the okapi were once believed to be imaginary creatures. This part matches with answer number D. Some people didn't used to believe such a creature was real. So they didn't believe it was real. It means they believed it to be imaginary. Right? Number 2. In which of the following places do you think the urban gardeners would not plant young trees? Around a car park, next to an abandoned factory, on a roundabout close to a school, or in a beautiful old garden with rose bushes. Let's go back to the text about urban gardeners and read this highlighted part. We transform concrete wastelands into garden. So they transform bad places that don't have flowers or green areas, into gardens, right? Also, the next part, we turn the ugliest city areas into beautiful green gardens. So it's not logical to go to a beautiful garden and work there. They go to ugly places. So the correct answer is also D. Four. Why was the game played by the Geocachers International created? Why did they create this game? The answer is here in the highlighted part. The game first began in 2000 to test GPS, Global Positioning System, a multi-million-pound navigational satellite system. So it was created to test a satellite system. Five, which club is not taken seriously by some people? Go back to the Cryptozoologist Club CC and read this highlighted part. Scientists ridicule us because they believe that cryptozoology is not a real science. So scientists ridicule cryptozoologists. They say they are silly. They laughed at them. And they thought cryptozoology is not a real science. It's an imaginary science. So the answer here is so clear. It's C, the Cryptozoologist Club. Now we move on to activity D. Write an answer to the following question in your own words. So please don't copy the answer from the text. What attitude do you think the organizers of the website would have to hobbies like eggshell carving and underwater cycling? Before we discuss the question itself, let me give you an idea about these two hobbies. Eggshell carving, النحت على قشر البيض. بآلات دقيقة يتم النحت ورسم زخارف على قشر البيض. Underwater cycling, ركوب الدراجات تحت سطح الماء. السؤال: What attitude do you think the organizers of the website would have to such hobbies? موقف الموقع الإلكتروني أو منظمي الموقع عن هذه الهوايتين. Do you think they will dislike these hobbies? They will feel unfamiliar. They will feel they will like them. They wouldn't like them. They would think they are fantastic. I believe they would like them because they are unusual. Activity E. Look at the highlighted words or phrases in the announcements and choose the correct meaning. Then check your answer using a dictionary. Again, go back to the texts, find the highlighted words or phrases, wasteland, trespassing, value, jot down, and trinket. Find them and try to guess the correct answer and find the correct answer here from A, B, C, O, D. And you should read the tip here before going to the text. Good luck. In this text, urban gardeners, we have two highlighted words, wastelands and trespassing, and to get their meanings, you should read them in context. We transform concrete wastelands into garden landscapes. So they transform wastelands into something beautiful. Garden landscapes. Gardens are beautiful. Gardens are full of flowers. Gardens are green. Gardens are full of plants. So wastelands is the opposite. It's land that nothing grows on. أرض خراب. أرض قاحلة. Trespassing. Some people think we're trespassing on land that doesn't belong to us. So they trespass on land that doesn't belong to them. So because the land doesn't belong to them, so they enter without permission. They enter without permission. يدخلون دون إذن. يتسللون إلى الأرض.
Gosford Beach Finders. Here we have a highlighted word, value. The more you value something, the less you like losing it. First of all, would you tell me what part of a speech is value here? Is it a noun? No, it isn't. It's a verb. The more you value something, the less you like to lose it. So, when do you feel that you shouldn't lose something if it's valuable, if you appreciate it, if you think it's something good, something that you can't lose? So the more you appreciate something, the less you like losing it. And finally, we have two highlighted words or phrases here, jot down and trinkets. Let's read them in context. Jot down. Jot down its location and use a GPS device to find it. Jot down is a verb. And if you go back to the three choices, A, B, C, and D, A, B, and C, you'll find that the closest meaning here is to make a note of. To make a note of. يعني تكتب سريعا، تاخذ ملاحظة سريعة للlocation. Then, the prizes are just plastic trinkets. It's the journey itself that's the greatest reward. Pay attention to the word just. The prizes are just. Just here refers to something not valuable, something inexpensive. So, trinkets here, it's just plastic, and it's plastic also. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's just a plastic something, plastic items. And the word just refers to it's not expensive, it's inexpensive. So the correct answer here is an expensive item.